Hi there, I'm Michelle.
I'm Jim, and we are
A
A Teague of Your Own.
Welcome to another Motivational Monday.
Let's get motivated.
Woohoo! We're on the road.
We are on the road. That's why this doesn't look like normal.
Someplace different.
Someplace different.
We
Yes.
are someplace different. And for those of you who have seen this a time or two, you may realize why we're on the road and where we're at. What do you think?
That that I need to tell them, or they could figure it out.
I hope they can figure it
Okay. Hopefully they can figure it out.
out. For those of you who may not realize it, this week is the Plan Your Profits in Paradise Entrepreneurial Cruise Retreat.
And where are you?
Where are you?
Where are you?
Exactly. I can tell you where we are. We're someplace nice and toasty warm.
Boy, is it toasty warm.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Especially coming from where we came from.
Yes, yes. So gorgeous. You're missing out.
Yes.
And that's what we wanted to talk about today is strategy or strategery, as some people might say. Uh, One of the reasons why Heather and I wanted to co-host this retreat was because we want people to come up with a strategy for how they can achieve the goals that they set for themselves. And we realized that not too many people actually set aside time to do that.
No.
So that's part of what the retreat is all about. It is coming up with a strategy that will help you move your business forward, help you come up with ideas for how to make the profits that you want for your company. Why is strategy so important?
Well, because crafting a strategy gives you it gives you that North Star. It shows you where you are going, and by developing a strategy, it gives you that way of getting there, that broad picture. And that's different than tactics. Tactics are the little things that you do to move towards that strategy. So you can relate it to like sports.
Okay.
When we have a football game, the coach always has a strategy, an overall idea of how they're going to approach the game based on whoever their opponent is. Now, sometimes it doesn't always work out. As a matter of fact, we were watching a game. It was it was Pitt against was Syracuse.
Yeah.
Yes, and the Syracuse offense was throwing out all kinds of things that the Pitt team had not prepared for. The coach even said so. They were interviewing Pat Narduzzi, and he said they're doing all kinds of things we didn't practice for. So that blew up their strategy. But having said that, obviously Syracuse had a strategy because they ended up winning the game, and their strategy was to do something that was so completely different, to have a different approach to how they were doing things that just completely threw off their opponent. Pitt did not have a strategy for that. So the idea is, by having that strategy, that is the way that you are going to approach trying to accomplish your objectives. And like I said, that's the bigger picture, and you have to have the big picture before you can start to fill in the details, before you can start to determine what the tactics are going to be to execute that strategy.
And part of the retreat that we're hosting is making sure people have that vision. Is, what's the vision that you have for your organization in the future? Where are you going to be in 3 years? Where are you going to be next year?
Yeah.
Because you're not going to be able to set goals until you know exactly where it is that you want to be.
That's exactly right.
And once you figure out where you want to be, the goals that you set bring you closer to that. And that's part of the strategy.
Sure.
Is figuring out, where do I want to go? How am I going to get there?
Yep.
And that's the reason why going on a retreat like this is so important. It's figuring out what the strategy is so that you can be successful with your business.
Yeah, it's coming up with that big thing, then breaking it down to the details. It's something that we've already done for next year.
Yeah,
we've already gone through that process, and now I know we know what we're after. We know what it is that we're aiming to accomplish, and just by knowing that, it increases the chances that we will actually get there.
Exactly.
Because you've got to know. And then with what we did was we broke it down in detail. this is one part of our business. How much it's what we're going to do here. How's this going to work? This is another part of our business. How's that going to work? What are we going to do there? What are our goals? What are our objectives? And so we have the whole thing mapped out. Like I said, the bigger picture in each section of what we do. And then it comes to the details. Yeah. But again, without having that bigger picture, that overall strategy,
yeah,
you're just going to be wandering around. You end up. I think I probably said this before. Zig Ziglar, one of my favorite speakers and writers, he said that you either become a meaningful specific or you're going to be a wandering generality. So the people who don't bother to develop a strategy, they just say, "Well, I'm doing this, and I'm going to go out there and do the best that I can." They're the wandering generalities, and that's not a good place to be, because what are you aiming for? You don't even know.
Yeah, and part of it is taking a look and seeing the services, the products that you offer. Where do they fit in with your strategy?
Right.
How are they a part of that vision that you have for the future?
And are there new things that you can integrate into what you're doing? Are there things that you're doing that just aren't working that maybe you just need to get rid of? So there's a lot to it.
There is, and that's why it's so important to set aside time to do that,
right,
to come up with a strategy. There will be a Plan Your Profits in Paradise, although I don't necessarily think it's going to be in a paradise next year.
Well, for some people, it's paradise.
But it's super secret where that's going to be until after this retreat, because we're going to announce to the participants for this retreat, and they obviously have the opportunity to sign up to go to that. But next year, we're going to do this again, and it's going to be someplace different, and it's going to be a lot of fun. It really is. Plus, we know there are people out there who need this help.
Yeah.
And we know that there are people out there who need to take the time to put together a strategy, set their goals, come up with a way of achieving those goals. And this is the time to do it.
Yep.
So be on the lookout. We'll be announcing when and where that will be. And we hope to see you in 2024 for that particular retreat week.
Yeah.
Sound like a plan?
Yeah, sounds like a great plan.
In the meantime, if you have questions about putting together a strategy, who could they call?
Maybe the people who've already got one for next year. That would be us.
That would be us. All right. So if they want to give us a call, what's the number?
412-420-7975.
That's it. 412-420-7975. They want to email us.
info@atigueofyourown.com.
info@atigueofyourown.com. Awesome. What if they want to go to our website?
atigueofyourown.com.
atigueofyourown.com, where you can find lots of information and there see what we can do to help you. So we're also on social media.
Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram.
Yep. And subscribe to our YouTube channel, so you'll get a notification that the new live is up and running
and ready
every
to go.
single week.
Yep.
All right. So have a fantastic week. We will see you next week and let you know all the fabulous things that happened during the Plan Your Profits in Paradise Entrepreneurial Cruise this week. Until then, have a great week, everybody.